When I was thinking about this workshop, the first thing I had to think about was how can a new graduate get into employment? And what I found is that without work experience, without industrial experience, and without the skills level to get employment, the best thing to do is to actually get work placement. When you go downstairs, there's lots of programs out there. There's pattern casting training, there's sampling training. But I think that we're getting a lot of graduates who are coming through who still expect to be looked after. They expect somebody out there to say, okay, we're going to look after you, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. As soon as you leave college, I think the first thing you've got to remember is that you're on your own. You've got to start designing your own future. Nobody's going to tell you what to do. But the first thing you've got to decide is that you've done pattern cutting, you've done sampling, you've done storyboarding. You don't have to just go into fashion. You can go into advertising. There's a lot of job avenues out there for you without just thinking about the fashion industry. We've had a lot of graduates who've come through who, most of them have gone into lecturing, or they've gone into styling. The styling has come from you doing your storyboards, as opposed to just doing a storyboard and thinking that it's a beginning of a range development. But what I suggest, the first thing you need to start thinking about doing is doing work placement.
Adding to what sort of Doreen says, in terms of, looking at your future, your long-term future, and you've heard this, I'm sure, over and over again. It goes in one ear and it leaves the next. It did with me when I was a student. It's this thing about understanding where you're going. And if you know where you're going, you need to then work out what you need to get there. It's very simple. So if it's fashion, what do you need in fashion? What are the skills that are going to get you the job that you want? So there is a bit of legwork on your part in terms of actually finding out the skills that you need to acquire that will actually get you the job. But what happens if the job isn't there at the end of the day? And that's usually where everybody comes to a halt, because they don't actually know how they can use the skills they have acquired and transfer them into other areas. The clever ones do, because the clever ones have got their fingers in lots of different pots. My advice to everyone here is if that you're looking at a career in creativity, never like to use the word fashion, in the creative sector. You need to look at your skills, you need to look at the sector skill requirements, make sure that you're equipped, and if you cannot get a job, you need to be very creative in your thinking. Where else can you move to? I have students who are studying fashion. One week they may be in Belgium conducting a photo shoot, then they're doing a record cover, and then they're doing DJing. Yeah? These are the people that you're up against. They're making it happen. They go to clubs, they talk to the club, the owner of the club, to see whether they can do a gig that night. You make it happen. Doors, you're going to hear no, but the more you do it, it's like water off a duck's back, and sooner or later somebody says yes to you. Yeah, so they're there. You just go to Google. You look at the internet. You look at, magazines. It's all there for you. The point is, do you have the guts to go out and ask?